So let me check the changes this month. April. Which one? I think these are the changes last month. So all these changes are for the AI tools, especially the SRS developer skills. And I also refactoring the proxy and structure. So let me show you the first one is about this. There is a skill named as developer. So the developer skill will be used by everyday developer, future bug fix, and also for learning code and review a PR. I implement the PR review and the proxy server development. If you want to use the skill for Origin server and Edge server, it is not ready. For the proxy server, yeah, you can use it. And I have also used this skill to develop and refactoring the proxy server. I will show you later. And another one is about the PR review. When we review a PR, a pull request, so the first step is to understand the change. It will try to use, it assumes that you switch to the PR branch, and then it will use the diff developer to show the change. And AI will try to understand what's the change of this PR. So it is a little different to augment. The augment will read the PR from URL. For example, there's a PR, right? So if you use augment, you can try to use the URL and that augment to read and parse this PR. But as a skill, I don't assume that it can access the PR URL. So I just assume that you have switched to the branch. So you have to do something, and it will try to summary the PR. What does the PR do, and what's the changes, and you can ask more details to understand the PR, and that's it. So this is the first step to understand the PR, and the step 2 is to update the document. In my experience, I never update the document. Even when I merge a PR, I may forgot to update the document. So I also assume that other developer they don't update the document when they finish code or fix a bug. So this skill will try to understand the code and try to update the document, and also update the skill. So I defined this workflow in the last step. I mean, before we merge this PR, we also update the document according to the change of the code. And the last step is to update the version, both the Go language version and the C++ version, and change the changelog. We have a script to do this step before. Right now, we can use the skill to do this. And we can also add more steps and refine these steps. So it is not something that perfect, and I'm quite sure that I will refactor these skills when I use it. Any question about this skill? About this PR review? No question. Okay. Another one is about the proxy server. So the proxy server, the step one is to find the correct model. The module is defined in the code map, and also you try to reason about what's your task and try to load the correct module. With the module, the code of the module and the documents and understand your instructions. So it try to understand all the related context in the step 2. And in the step 3, it try to implement a code change. I think maybe bug fix. Let me check. A lot of bug fix. We have a special bug fix workflow here. So I think this should be a feature or something that we want to change. So implement the code change for the future, and then try to run generate the mocks and run the unit test and into test. So this is hardest engineer. I don't know. There are some circle to verify what AI change, and this is run automatically. Any question about these 2 skills? No? Okay, cool. And another change is that I change for example, let me show you. I use the skill to develop the proxy, for example, the internal. So env, what is env here? Yeah. So I replaced the go.env with customer browser. There's a package we used, so you can see this change. Which one? This one. Yeah, parse. So before we use go.env to load the env file and parse it, and now I use the AI to read-write. It's quite simple and straightforward function to read the env file and parse to env map, and then use the OS set env. This is generally what the go.env this library. I replaced this library because I don't want to depend. I don't want to depend on third-party library as much as possible. I want to depend it as less as possible. What is a Go module change? I think that should be a Go module change here. So before we depend on Redis and go.env, we just depend on 2 library. So after this change, we only depend on Redis. I mean, this library is quite simple, but maybe it may depend on other library. So I think in the AI era, in AI times, the code is cheap, right? So rather than depend on a library, I would like to rewrite a new function. And we also write test for this function. Unless the library is too huge to replace, for example, the radius library. I don't want to rewrite the radius library. I think that is another change is about the logger. This is about the package change. I replaced this go.env package. So any question about this one? I mean, I would recommend that we rewrite these packages. Do not use third-party packages, just use AI to rewrite it, unless the package is too huge, like radius. Anything want to discuss or any question about this one? No, okay, cool. Okay, so the next one is about the logger. The logger here. Log, maybe not this one. Let me check. Logger, log. Here. So for this commit, I changed the log from text to JSON. So I use slog. Slog means structure log. It is library from the STD, the standard library of Go. So before we just use log, it is a text-based log library, and now I switch to the JSON log. Because the JSON log is more friendly to AI. AI can parse the JSON, can filter the JSON by tools, right? So yeah, this is also a big change, but it is straightforward. It is not complex to understand. Just to use this JSON log. Another one is about the map. I changed the map from structure to interface, so I can test it and mock it. The map is not a good example. Map, what is the map? Think, yeah. I'll change to the interface. I think a good example is this one, the logger. No, the fake. ENV, yeah. ENV is also interface. This one, the environment. It is also interface. So there's a generator. I introduced a generator. Generator is used to generate the fake environment. The fake environment is a fake environment interface to mock the interface generally. So anyone who depends on the environment can use the fake environment. For example, give you an example, new environment. Here, the proxy, right? The proxy it depends on this ENV, this interface. So in fact, in this package, we can use the fake environment. For example, if you extract this environment to the as a field of this structure, then you can replace the interface with a fake environment, then you can mock everything for this bootstrap. So this is the ideal. So for each interface, there will be fake for the AI to mock this interface. Yeah. I think this is all the changes. Let me check what other. Yeah, I think that's all the changes. Oh, there's a bootstrap refractory. It is a Milo change. Let me show you. In the bootstrap, the new bootstrap is extracted to the proxy and renamed to new proxy bootstrap. So this when we implement the orange server and edge server, there will be a new orange bootstrap or a new edge bootstrap. And this change is a Milo change, just rename it. And you can see the structure. In the future, we will add the origin server and edge server here. And the command proxy and command origin, command edge, and that is a new generation of Go server of SRS. Yeah, again, all these changes are made by Claude and use the SRS developer skills to finish all these changes. And all these changes are also refactored for the skills and the AI tools. I think maybe next month, the proxy server, I think I can finish the proxy server refactoring. You can see a totally new proxy server that is managed by AI. And then next month, we can switch to start a new Orange server development and a new Edge server after that. The progress, the achievement is quite strict. It's much faster than I thought.